live on a sunny and cold Thursday morning, although it's going up to 60. Along with 70s porn star Dusty Fox, I'm Adam the Bull.
What's
Here
up?
we go. What's going on? I mean, that
Oh, not too
mustache
much.
is really starting to fill in.
Bro, I continue to get compliments on this
Yeah.
thing. I mean, it's like really coming in,
Yeah. I mean, you
It's
could
nice.
be 70s porn star. You could be
Dude, I'm telling you, it
70s
didn't look good.
baseball
It didn't look
player.
good. It didn't look good when I was fat. It's better on a skinnier guy.
Can't
For
do it.
sure.
Can't do it. Fat guys can only have, and I know from experience, you got to have a full beard or nothing when you're fat. Goatee looks terrible. Mustache looks terrible. Full beard, you go, you're all in or you're all out. That's it.
Are you coming back with the beard? Weren't you getting comments like on yesterday's show, like people want the beard to come back for you?
Yeah, but it's, the weather's getting warm. I don't like having the beard in the summertime, so
Yeah, but it's like a look though, man.
I hear you, but my look is just it's called a lazy chic. It means I don't shave.
Lazy chic.
Once a week. I shave once a week. I go to my the girl cuts my hair. I go to her every Friday, and she gives me she shaves my beard, and that's it. That's what I do.
What are you down, man? You losing some pounds?
I have, but I lost access to my medication, and now I just got it back, so I'm going back on it. So I got kind of sidetracked for a couple of weeks, but now we'll get back on it. But I'm. I'll share the news here. Well, maybe I did already. I can't remember half the things.
Have you shared it with me?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Is this a big thing?
Well, I've started taking the steps to weight loss surgery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, dude, I mean, we've been friends for a long time, and we've talked about this since, I don't know, 2012.
Yeah, I've talked about it for years. I've considered it for years, but now I'm finally going forward with it. I'll probably do it late summer or early fall. It's the procedure now. Really, you're only, especially the job I do. I'm not I wouldn't miss, especially if I did it on a Friday. I'd probably only miss that Friday, and I'd be able to work by Monday. As it's not as debilitating as it used to be, the surgery. If I had a manly job where I was doing physical labor, then I'd probably be out a little bit. But since I purposely got into a profession I don't have to do physical labor, then I don't have to worry about it. So I need to take the steps. The procedure's gotten better over the years. There's the side effects are pretty uncommon now. And at this point, I said, the side effects of me being at the weight I am are worse than the side effects for the potential surgery. And
absolutely.
I have a good friend who got it done about 2-3 years ago, and it's changed his life. So
how much has he lost?
He lost 70 pounds. He wasn't quite as heavy as I was, but not that far off. So he was like 320, 330, and now he weighs about 250. So he's still a little overweight, but like you can live to an old age a little overweight. You can't.
Most people are a little overweight,
right? So if I get down,
that doesn't really help us, stay skinny.
Yeah.
With
No.
I mean,
when I was younger, I was hoping to get down someday to 220 or 230. Now, even if I get down to 240, even 250, I think I could live at that weight. But I can't live at 350. So,
dude, let me just tell you something. As somebody who's recently gone through a lot of weight loss, and I'm down about 60 pounds. Yeah. Which is kind of crazy to think about. But dude,
60 pounds?
But I look back at how big I was.
Yeah.
And how out of shape I had gotten after COVID. It was bad, man. Like I'm probably a little light, honestly. Like I'd probably like to be 185 pounds.
Yeah, you're really thin.
I'm about 179 right now.
I can't believe you weighed 240. I didn't realize that.
I weighed almost 240 pounds, dude.
Mm-hmm.
At my heaviest, like 238. Right.
And even though that's what I'm saying, like if I got to 240, yeah, I'd still be heavy, but I can't get to 180. It's just not possible with my body. So, but anyway, yeah, I mean, I didn't realize you lost that much, but I knew obviously.
I went to my doctor for my yearly physical.
Yeah.
And she was like, looked at my weight and was like, "Are you okay?" She's like, right. "Oh, hold on," because like I was like 170 something. And the last time I was there was a year ago.
Yeah. Wow.
And I was almost 240.
What a difference! I know you feel great.
I feel amazing. And here's the thing, dude. Once you get to that weight you want to be at and you start feeling great, it's kind of addicting. It's just as addicting as the food.
Yeah.
Or the alcohol or whatever it is we vices.
Well, and the thing with the weight loss surgery, and some people, lose it and then and we will get to football, I promise, folks. But
that's all good, man.
Some people lose
Some people
it.
just need their fix of Bull and Fox, man.
That's true, and there are a lot of people commenting on food and losing weight, but some people do have the surgery and eventually they eat themselves out of it, like they gain the weight. But it's less common. You got to be careful. I know a good friend of mine, same age as me. He's actually like I think 6 months older, and has always been heavy, just like me. He's like, dude, I just can't eat like I used to because of the surgery. I can eat whatever. He was like, I used to be able to eat 4 or 5 slices of pizza. Now, when I do eat pizza, which he doesn't do as often, but
you have 2.
He's like, I have 1.5, and I'm stuffed. And I'm like, that's what I need.
That's great.
Because my biggest problem from an eating perspective is really the amount of food I eat more than what I'm eating. Yes, I sometimes make bad choices of what I'm eating, but I'm not addicted to sweets like a lot of heavy people are. I don't get me wrong. I eat sweets, but I'm not like someone who just pounds sweets all the time. I don't, I'm for the most part, I don't eat a ton of fried food, and I could cut down that with no problem. It's just the amount of food that I eat, and that's where the weight loss surgery makes the biggest difference, because you just can't eat as much food. And if I could cut down and I've tried so many times, there's some people like, you're lazy, and maybe I am, I don't know, but for enough people have told me that this is an addiction, just like any other addiction.
It's a disease, just like any other addiction, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I know addiction very well, as I'm an addict, and it's hard, man. So
yeah,
you're taking the right steps. You're taking the right steps.
It just manifests differently, right? Different addictions, different people, and so there you go.
Yeah, no, it's good. Good for you. Keep me posted. Keep us, our audience, posted as well. I certainly want to follow the journey.
Thank you. Let's just read a couple of tweets here, and then we'll get to some Browns talk. Sam says, good for you, Bull. Thank you, Sam, but long way to go. Kevin says, I know people have had the weight loss surgery. Really great for them, but this was 15-plus years ago. Yeah, I mean, the technology has changed. The way they do the surgeries has changed. There's different options now. I'm actually going to be most likely, it hasn't been finalized yet, but I'm actually probably going down to New Orleans to do it.
Is there like a good doc down there, or somebody is a recommendation?
So shout out to my guy, Dr. Jake May from Menu RX. Jake and I got to know each other through my job, right? Of course, he was a Bull and Fox listener, so he lives down in New Orleans, but he's originally from Cleveland. He's a big, Cleveland sports fan. And Jake is a scientist, nutritionist, and researcher, and he works for this place down in New Orleans, which was originally started by a guy from the Cleveland Clinic.
Yeah.
And it's a weight loss center that has become, a big thing down in New Orleans. And, my health insurance is it's okay, but it doesn't cover weight loss surgery. So I got to pay out of pocket. So I have an HSA. I've been, saving money in my HSA to pay for the surgery out of pocket. And this clinic works with people a lot of times that don't have, that pay out of pocket sometimes.
You probably get a better deal if you're a cash payer.
Yeah. Plus, because they do research, you get a better deal because they're going to use you as part of the research, which, what do I care?
Roundabout way of saying it just makes sense to go to New Orleans.
Exactly. Now, of course, my brain, I'm thinking, ooh, I could try some good food before the surgery.
Hey, remember? Oh, I don't know if you remember. Have you seen the movie The Family Man with Nicolas Cage? It's like a Christmas movie kind of. It's very funny. But it's like a rom-com too. But anyway,
okay.
There's a guy that's going in for like triple bypass surgery, and he's eating like all these chicken wings the day before. He's like, hey, I'm going in to get cleaned out tomorrow. Might as well eat it all today.
I know.
Made me think of that, actually.
It is true. That's how my mind works. But you do have to lose weight. You should be like losing weight and eating well going into the surgery. That's what they tell you to do. But anyway, real quick, let's see. Creative Juice says, of course, Dustin has a Michael Myers mask. I mean, yes, right behind your head. There it is. For those who don't know, and I'm sure most of our audience does, Dustin is obsessed with Michael Myers. Although I feel like maybe you're a little less obsessed than you were when you were younger, even though you got it on your arm. Do you feel like as you've gotten older, you're a little less obsessed with Michael Myers or no?
No, I wish I could show you. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Stand by.
Yeah. All right. We got some.
You can keep talking to the audience.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Festus says, Bull, I was 260, started running at 57, now 186, running 20-plus miles a week. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he's obsessed. All right. Started walking 1 mile on a treadmill.
Full size.
That is a full size, yeah. And Dustin used to come into the radio station every year on Halloween wearing that costume, not talking and scaring the shit out of everybody. Crado spot. Eat less and walk more. There you go. Sam is right. Dustin is right. We just want Bull and Fox, non-sports talk and all. Thank you.
Hey, man, Bet Rivers, come through. We could add an extra day of just bullshit talk.
Yeah, that's right.
Or we can actually swear to.
That's true. Karen says, hi, Bull and Fox. Why do we keep McKenzie and Gavin Williams? We'll get to that later.
There you go.
PJ, Bull, it sucks, but to lose weight, don't eat. Well, there you go.
Listen, you're still going to enjoy food, man.
Yeah, well, I don't care. I got to lose weight. PJ finally says, Dusty has to love 3rd and long at Brown Stadium for defense. Do they still play? I mean, that was your idea.
So if people don't know, that was my idea. Like, I took that to the Browns. I kind of stole it from like a couple college teams, but they played it, the Halloween theme song, which is freaking badass.
It is.
Before 3rd down. Problem is, when you've got the 32nd ranked defense in the NFL, it's not badass anymore when you can't stop anybody.
No.
So it became this like laughing stock, like joke, running joke. And I ended up becoming the butt of the joke, just as I, got Nick Swisher to sign in Cleveland too. So the couple things that I'm known for in Cleveland have really turned out well.
Well, you and I also got Odell Beckham here.
We did. We manifested that, I mean, God, we're
not
best,
good,
man.
Not good. All right. Speaking of football, we put a poll up on our YouTube page here, and the poll, and I'll ask you your answer to this poll. I think I know your answer, but I'll ask you anyway.
Okay.
If the Browns pass on a quarterback at 2, which I think 1 week before the draft we all think is going to happen, which quarterback should they draft at 33 or trade up for? Jackson Dart, Jalen Milroe, Tyler Shuck, or Will Howard? Who you got?
I mean, if Dart's available, it seems like that's the guy that they would go for. I'm a Milroe guy. I think you have sort of swayed you on Milroe a little bit.
Yeah, well, I just think
because the
reason the reason I've been swayed on Milroe is that he's the only one to me that I could see. Like there's a window to, I don't know what percentage chance this is of happening. I think he's got the only, I think those other guys will all be fine. I know there's mixed opinion on Will Howard. Some people think he's just a backup, but I think Shuck and Dart are just going to be okay. Whereas Milroe might stink, but I think he's the only one that has a chance to be special if it all goes, if it all pans out.
Yeah.
So that's why I would do that. But would you take Dart over Milroe?
Would I take Dart over Milroe? I mean, I think Dart probably has the better chance to become good like earlier in his career. Like, sure. I think he could probably play as a rookie, like right away. Milroe could play right away with a very limited package, I think.
Yeah.
But look, man, after Cam Ward, it's all a toss-up. It's who you like better. Yeah. There's no great prospect. They all have limitations. They've got some red flags, if you will. Yeah. Not that they're character red flags, but they've got some areas that they've got to work on. Every prospect has something, whether it be Dart, whether it be Shuck with some of the injury concerns there. You got maybe the size with Shedeur Sanders. You've got the lack of intermediate throwing ability from Jalen Milroe. So there's something on everybody.
The poll results at the moment: 45% Jalen Milroe, 26% Will Howard is the second choice. There's a little Ohio State bias there.
Man, I saw Will Howard this weekend, man. Yeah. He's a big guy in person. Huge. I mean, just a monster. I mean, the biggest, we were at the country concert. I went to the spring game Saturday down in Columbus. And then after the game was over, they had the Saddle Up, which is a big event that Coach Day puts on. And it was pretty cool. But anyway, some of the current players were there, Will Howard being one of them. And he is a very, very large human being. And no surprise, has a very attractive lady friend.
Yeah. I mean, who could have seen that coming?
It's like Brett Musburger. You quarterbacks, you get all the good-looking women.
I mean, when's the last time you saw a big time college quarterback with an ugly girlfriend?
I can't recall, Adam.
Yeah, I mean, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, but
It is. I mean, there's
yeah,
not many NFL players that have like unattractive wives. Even the fat, ugly linemen get
yeah,
hot wives.
don't matter. They all, dude. I've said this before. When I was calling A-ball baseball games, all right, 90% of those guys never get to the majors. 96% of those guys, even if they get to the majors, just go for a cup of coffee. And they all, with almost no exceptions of the 100 guys I covered roughly in the 3 years that I was there, all had gorgeous girlfriends. So, and those guys were, lottery tickets
Oh
to
yeah,
make serious money,
absolutely.
you know. But right now, Jackson Dart 18%. Tyler Shuck is the lowest one at 15%. I know there is some concern, with Tyler Shuck's age, especially people here after the Brandon Weeden thing. Obviously, Shuck is not Brandon Weeden. Brandon Weeden, I think, was 29 his rookie season, whereas Shuck will be
Yeah.
26, I think. So that's a big difference, especially because the average age of quarterbacks coming out in the draft is a little older right now also.
Yeah.
Because of COVID and so many guys have been around. And with NIL, guys are going to stay in longer. If you're on the fence with the NIL, you might as well stay in if you're not sure where you're going to get drafted. How about this? I was joking around with we were playing a scrimmage Little League game, and the kid on the other team, is this kid Joey, who I've coached a bunch of times, and he played on my fall ball team. And I said to him, he's a fifth grader, little kid, but he's a really good ball player. His dad's the OC at Rocky River High School. Good guy, good coach. Anyway, I said, Joey, what's this I hear you're not going to play for me in the fall ball this year? He goes, I got to just focus on football, coach. Because his whole family's obsessed with football, loves football. He's a quarterback, even though he's tiny. And he goes, I got to focus on football. I said, what if I give you some NIL money? He's like, how much? Obviously, I'm joking around.
Yeah.
And I said, I'll negotiate with your mom. And he goes, no, it'd be my money.
That's funny.
So even at the Little League ranks, we're talking NIL.
Well, it is funny now. You've got high school athletes that are going to be getting some money, I'm guessing,
Yeah. Are they allowed to in Ohio?
Yeah.
Well, they are.
Yeah, I believe so.
So
I remember when LeBron was in high school. This is, goodness, 20 years ago?
Yeah.
No, 23 years ago? Like 2002. So like I'm in college, but he had got this Hummer H2, like this big, SUV. This is like back when they just came out and they were super cool. Not that they're not cool anymore, but he had this big Hummer H2 and got in trouble for somehow, I think it was in his mom's name or whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody really cared. Who cares? LeBron James.
Right.
But like the Ohio High School Athletic Association like gave him a bunch of shit. And in fact, I think he was like, I don't remember if he was ruled ineligible or something or whatever, but anyway, so stupid.
Can you imagine if LeBron were in high school now? I mean, these private schools, a lot of the Catholic schools, we know right here, Ignatius and Ed's, right? I don't know, what's going on with NAL there, but obviously they recruit players.
Dude, I heard from a reliable source. There's a corner at Hoban.
Yeah,
it's going for $1 million.
What? To play high school ball?
To play college.
Oh, okay.
But it's crazy though that's the offer. Like they just signed a lineman recently that I heard got like $700,000 per year.
So where are they going though?
Ohio State.
Oh, they are going to Ohio State. Okay.
Well, the one's going to Ohio State. The other kid's a junior.
And good for them. Make the money you can.
I am not mad at those kids at all.
Yeah.
I'm happy for them. I wish, obviously, hindsight, I wish that I could have had money back in the day, but who knows? I could be dead. I'd have probably went on a bender.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. It was so crazy because, like, I remember
if I had those resources, man, when I was 20 years old.
I know
what I did when I got to the league. Whew.
Yeah. Well, and plus, but I remember you telling me about how, like, when you guys won the national championship, all the seniors, they got to cash in.
Yeah, but honestly, Adam, I mean, at the time, it was a lot of money.
Yeah,
like
right.
We're talking like 6 figures, okay, like
Yeah.
150 grand
Yeah.
cash that they made in like a month or two after the season was over.
Yeah.
And that, again, it's still a lot of money today, but back then it was unheard of for these guys to make that kind of money before you got to the NFL draft or
Right.
got to the league, right? Well, now those guys can make it every day of the week. Like if you were a
Yeah.
freshman on the Natty team this year,
Yeah.
those guys could make 100,000
Oh,
like
yeah.
the seniors. So I was never going to be as valuable as I was after we won the title in '02. My senior year, we signed autographs after the season was over. I made like
Yeah.
10 grand
Yeah.
doing the same stuff those guys did, and they made, 150,
Right.
200.
Damn. What would Mike Doss have gotten NIL?
I know, dude, Caleb Downs,
Yeah.
who might be, I don't know if I told you this. I had a very nice chat with him on the cruise because
Oh,
we were
no.
doing an autograph session. I just happened to be seated next to him. So we talked for like an hour and a half because we were sitting there. Just a
Yeah.
great kid, man.
Yeah. That's cool.
Like so mature, so smart. I couldn't believe his maturity for a guy who's, a sophomore in college, gonna be a
Yeah.
junior. And he's making like $3-4 million a year.
Mm. Yeah. I mean,
Like, do you have a house? Like, did you buy it? He's like, no, man, I'm saving my money. He's like, I
smart.
rented a little apartment. I'm like, good for you, man.
That's
Good for
smart.
you. Yeah.
Good job out of him.
Adam, these guys in college are
Yeah.
completely different than when I was in
Yeah.
school. They're
Yeah.
all like really good kids. And it's surprising to me to think that, like, oh man, you give these kids money, you think they'd be a-holes.
Yeah.
Like far
Well,
from
there's
it. I mean,
probably
maybe
some that are, but
maybe
but
there are,
yeah.
maybe there are,
Yeah.
but for the most part, like I've met a lot of the stars for
Yeah.
Ohio State. I've met a lot of stars. Again, I did 20 games last year, so
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
all over the country doing all kinds of different conferences, and I get the chance to talk to these players, guys who are
Yeah.
making money. They're all like really, really down to earth guys, and it's like
That's
it's
awesome.
kind of refreshing to see that
Well,
when we're so cynical about everything,
Sure.
they can
Yeah.
actually there are good people out there doing.
Well, you
doing the
hope they
right
have
thing.
good people in their corner and good
Correct.
advisors that are trying to help them and not take advantage of them.
Right.
Because, I don't care how smart or how good a person you are. You could at 19, 18, 20, you don't know as much as you think you know. We all think we know everything when we're that age. And then you realize eventually, I don't know anything. And, some people know more than others. But the key, whether it's family or friends, to have the right people in your corner when you,
Man,
especially making that
I
kind
can't
of
tell
money.
you how many times, Adam, I listened to people who seemed like they knew what they were talking about,
Yeah.
and I just trusted them. Thankfully, I didn't really get taken advantage of by too many people when I
Mhm.
was coming out or when I was in school.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, dude, we're 19. These
Yeah.
guys act like they know everything that's going on
Yeah.
when it comes to money and doing these events and this, that, and the other, and contracts and all this shit. Like we don't know anything, and we're very, very vulnerable. So
Yeah.
kudos to the schools that have the right people, advisors,
Yeah.
counsel,
Definitely.
whatever it may be in place for these kids to sort of protect them a little bit.
Sam says, I saw LeBron's mom pull up to Slyman's in that Hummer circa 2004.
It was a silver Hummer. I remember. There's pictures all over the internet.
It's a good place to
The
go.
internet wasn't that big back then, but yeah, they had a Hummer, and then he got in trouble because he had some jerseys, because
Yeah.
they were like Mitchell and Ness jerseys, like really expensive, authentic ones or throwbacks, and they busted him for that. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
these are like $500 jerseys, and you're gonna jam up LeBron James about that? It's like,
Yeah.
dude, get a life.
It's so funny. I mean, if you tell a 20-year-old now in college, if you really explain to one of these college guys, I'm sure the Ohio State kids probably know about it, but like if you explain what Jim Tressel got suspended for,
They'd laugh.
and it'd be like, what? And there were, reporters who made it seem like it was the biggest criminal act in the history of college football.
Dennis Dodd.
Yeah. Like, even at the time, I couldn't believe and I wasn't and obviously at the
Dennis
time, this
Dodd
was before I knew you.
Jim Tressel to like the Antichrist.
I mean, it was insane. I remember thinking, like, who gives a crap? Why is this a big deal? And that's before I knew you, before I had moved to Ohio.
Dude, there were people that compared like Penn State to Ohio State. Like
that's
the Sandusky
insane.
stuff.
That's insane.
It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, I mean, that's just
ridiculous.
Beyond crazy. All right, let's hit on a couple other things here. NBA last night, the Heat
blowout city, man,
crushed the Hawks. Yeah. You guys talked about it a little bit, Mikey McNuggets, and you about we know what Spoelstra does in the playoffs. The Heat aren't a particularly good team. They're 8 games under 500, but
They're
always
dangerous.
competitive when it matters. And as you said, they just destroyed the Bulls. They were up 71-47 at half. What an embarrassment to get pummeled like that. I mean, it's not like, you know, if the Cavs do that to Miami, okay, it's a 1 versus an 8 seed. But in this situation, it's 9 versus 10. That's embarrassing for the Bulls to just get pummeled like that. And obviously they lose by 19 points. They were terrible. 10 of 37.
Mavericks won by 20, right?
Yeah, the Mavericks win by 14 in the end, 120-106. Anthony Davis had 27 and 9 in the victory. So the Mavericks will play Oklahoma City. I don't think they got any shot of beating Oklahoma City. But
gotta say, it doesn't feel like these are playoff games.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm excited about the playoffs, but I didn't really watch.
No, I'm excited about the playoffs. I've kind of just been in and out of these games.
Yeah,
they weren't good games. They're bad teams. They're teams that the Cavs have beaten up on all year.
Yeah,
and really, it feels like the playoffs start on Sunday. It's
yeah,
okay,
Saturday.
Whatever for us, Sunday.
I will watch tomorrow though, because to see who wins the Heat Hawks game, because obviously the Cavs will play the winner of that.
But dude, the Cavs are going to win in 4 or 5 games.
They better. There should be no competition. I mean, these teams both stink. Remember, the Heat are 37 and including the play-in game are 38 and 45. The Hawks are 40 and 43. So these are bad basketball teams. I mean, it doesn't mean they don't have any talent, but they're below average basketball teams. There'll be no excuse for the Cavs to lose more than 1 game at worst, and they really should sweep, and, you know, we'll see. But the first game of the series, whoever wins, will be at 7 p.m. The game will be on TNT, True TV, or Max. Again, on Sunday, the first real playoff game Saturday at 1 p.m., Bucks at Pacers. You got Clippers Nuggets at 3:30, Pistons Knicks at 6 o'clock, Timberwolves Lakers at 8:30. And then Sunday, you got the Mavs Grizzlies winner against the Thunder at 1, Magic Celtics at 3:30, the Heat Hawks winner against the Cavs at 7, and the Warriors Rockets, which is an interesting series at 9:30. Let's look at these series real quick. Let's pick winners. Bucks and Pacers. The Bucks are the 4. The Bucks are the 5 seed. The Pacers the 4. Pacers went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. Who do you like in that series? That should be a good one. Bucks and Pacers.
Bucks, Pacers. I mean, it's hard to go against the Bucks just because they have the best player.
It's true.
So I'll go Bucks there. What about you?
I'm kind of torn, because I don't like how Milwaukee's played, and Indiana was so feisty last year in the playoffs. I'm going to go against you. I'm going to go Indiana in 7 in that one, in that series. All right, Pistons, Knicks. Game 1, obviously Saturday. Knicks have home court in this 3-6 matchup. I got the Knicks in 5. I know the Pistons have been a feisty team.
Knicks in 6.
Knicks in 6. All right. Let's go to the Cavs. I got the Cavs with a sweep. Maybe I'm getting too aggressive, but I got a sweep, no matter who they play. I think they're more likely to lose 1 game to the Heat than the Hawks.
They'll lose 1 in Miami because the players will probably have one fun night.
You think in the playoffs?
I'm kidding.
It's not LeBron.
But it's a tough place to play in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's a good atmosphere.
Yeah.
I hate to give them credit, but I would say Cavs in 5 against either one of those teams.
All right, Magic at the Celtics.
Obviously, Celtics.
I got the Celtics.
I'd love the Magic to win.
Yeah, I'd love it to even just push them to go to 7 or whatever,
Correct.
Beat them up a little bit. I got the Celtics in 5. In the Western Conference, let's go Clippers Nuggets. The Nuggets have home court, but they have finished with the exact same record of 50 and 32. Should be a great series on paper.
I'm gonna go with Clippers.
Wow, I'm going with Jokic. You going against the best player, huh?
They fired their coach, man.
It is weird.
It's just weird. The whole thing. Didn't they fire their GM as well?
They did.
So whatever. I mean, maybe they can turn it around.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it just seems like there's got to be more going on there than meets the eye.
Jokic finished the season averaging 29.6 points, 12.7 rebounds, and 10.2 assists. That is absurd. That is just fucking crazy. This guy, and he doesn't even look like he gives a shit half the time. And he's the best player in the league.
Oh, I'm just going up down the court.
So bizarre.
He just lumbers up and down the court.
Yeah, I got Nuggets and 7. Timberwolves and Lakers. I got the Lakers in 5.
Lakers.
Oh man, wouldn't it be amazing if we had Cavs Lakers final? Do you want that or no?
Cavs Lakers final?
Yeah,
I would love it. I mean, it's going to be a lot of pressure.
Yeah, but it's a lot of pressure on LeBron too. I mean, it'd be a lot of pressure on him. I don't know, but you two obvious superstars.
If the Cavs lost to LeBron and the Lakers, would it tarnish how you feel about LeBron?
Not for me. I mean, you can't blame him. No,
I know that.
If anything, it would. I'd be even more impressed. The fact that and obviously Luka is a better player than LeBron at this point in their careers, but the fact that he could be the second most important piece, and second by very little, on a championship team at this point in his career is what would be one of the most remarkable accomplishments ever. I'd be disappointing because obviously I want the Cavs to win, but I would have a lot of respect for LeBron if he did that. That would be amazing. Thunder. I got the Thunder in a sweep over the Mavericks or the Grizzlies.
Thunder too good.
Yeah, and then Warriors Rockets. I know the Rockets have been great all year. I'm not picking against Steph Curry in a first-round matchup against a playoff inexperienced team. I'm taking the Warriors.
No chance. Yeah, give me the Warriors there.
All right. And finally, the Guardians in action. They lose yesterday. They'll play the Orioles today. They've won 6 of their last 8. Not a good performance yesterday. Tristan McKenzie really struggled out of the pen. We'll talk about that on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show today a little bit. You see the Guardians a slight favorite today. The pitching matchup, Tanner Bybee coming off a bad start in his last time out. It's a 6. What time are they playing?
6:10 start, I think, or maybe 6:40.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? That reminds me. Well, I don't want. That's all right. 6:35. Guardians Orioles. Tanner Bybee and the rookie for
Sugano.
Yeah. Tomoyuki Sagano is pitching for the Orioles. So there you go. All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today. We will be live again next Thursday. And next week's going to be crazy because we'll be on live Thursday. There's going to be a crazy amount of draft coverage. We'll tell you about it all early next week. A lot of stuff. The draft is finally here. I think we're all looking forward to talking about what happened in the draft instead of what we expect to happen in the draft. But a few more days of what's going to happen still coming up. Dustin, good job out of you.
Thanks,
Keep
man.
the stash going. Good job by Alex and Z producing. We'll talk to you all next time. Where else but right here in the bullpen. Bull, Dustin Fox.
Stay steady.